Obviously a lot of entertaining celebrities, but Norm Macdonald used to come on our show in the early days, and those were, I thought, great television because we never knew what was happening, and it was always teetering on the edge of, it was all about to blow up. It's all about to fail, and it would always end brilliantly. And then he stopped coming around, and it was just a period that passed. And I was always sad about that because I thought, we're a very celebrity-conscious age, and people always think that the best guests are the biggest celebrities. Sometimes, the best guests are these people that you have a weird connection with, and it's compelling television. People see and they talk to me about it later on. Like, I'll be out in the world walking around, and people will say, "I saw that when you were with Harlan, or when you were with Norm, or with Will, and that really got wild and crazy in a way that they don't see on television now."
Have you, over the years, who are some of the people who have been your go-to people? That I just remember Dave in his early years had Terry Garr and he had Sandra Bernhard.
Yes.
And they were kind of magic together. Who are your...
I had so many people. Norm Macdonald was this person who would come, you all know Norm Macdonald, but Norm Macdonald, when we'd have him on in the early days, to this day I've never interviewed anybody like Norm Macdonald.
Who was the best guest that you've ever interviewed, and who was the worst?
I love Will Ferrell. I also love Norm Macdonald because he comes on and his stories are all invented. None of them are real. They're all old farmers' daughters jokes. And he pretends he'll come on. I'll say, "What's up, Norm?" He'd be like, the other day I was walking down the road and a pirate comes up to, I'm like, "What?" Yeah, a pirate comes along, and he's got 3 pigs with him. One of them is wearing a hat, one's got a pipe, and then it's just a complete waste of everybody's time that's absolutely delightful and hilarious. And so I love him.
Your favorite guests are always like the Bill Burr, Norm Macdonald.
Yes.
This might go off the rails really fast type of guys.
Yeah. Norm Macdonald, one of the great talk show guests of all time. He invented something that Norm Macdonald invented this amazing thing that I've never seen anybody do before or since. It's kind of like he split the atom. It was that revolutionary. Norm would come on and he would, instead of telling you a real story, like if I had you on the show and you're like, "Hey, Bill, tell me, and remember I was living in Chestnut Hill once," and you would tell a real story about what happened to you in your life. Norm tells old jokes as stories that happened to him.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, "Norm, what are you up to?" And I mean really old jokes from like the 1920s. And he'd be like, "Well, Conan, I don't know if you're aware that I purchased a farm, Conan." I'd be like, "Really? You purchased Yeah, I purchased a farm. Of course, I have 3 daughters." And I'm like, "You have 3 daughters?" "Yeah, I have 3 daughters on the farm. One very attractive, one not as attractive, and of course the third not, well, she's ugly, Conan. She's ugly." And I'd be like, "Well, one day this traveling salesman comes to the farm, and he says, now, Norm, I tell you," and then it's like he's telling an old traveling salesman joke.
Yeah.
But
about halfway through where it's going.
I usually know. I know kind of what he's doing. I'm laughing that he has the balls to do this. I'm laughing at the audacity. So I don't even care if this joke lands or not. I'm laughing that he's committing to the fact that, no, he doesn't have a farm. He doesn't have 3 daughters. There's no traveling salesman. But he doesn't care in a way that is exhilarating and scary at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And plus, he probably has some people in the audience who are taking completely seriously, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's got some people thinking.
We call them tourists.
Yes. We call them. They're usually from San Bernardino.
Well, Norm had the greatest talk show moment in the history of talk shows with Courtney Thorne-Smith.
That was epic. That was so great. And it's funny because
it's lived on. Who knew that we were going to have YouTube eventually?
Where
we could just queue it up on command.
God bless YouTube. I had no idea when those things were happening. I thought, we're talking 1993, 94. When those things were happening, I thought, what did I know? I just thought if you were up and you saw it, That means you saw
That was it.
You saw an amazing thing happen, and if you, and then maybe if I get to stay on the air long enough, we'll have a 1-year anniversary show, and maybe you'll see it then. But if you're not there for that, it's gone. And now I meet people, I mean, that around the world that will say, "Oh, I just saw that thing with you and Norm and Courtney Thorne-Smith," and I'll think that was a moment of my life when I was 30.
Yeah.
And I'm like 85 now. Like, how is that possible?
Has played Allison Parker, one of the many dysfunctional but gorgeous residents of Melrose Place. Please welcome Courtney Thorne-Smith. Norm, you're sick and you're all over her like a bear rug. Just leave her alone.
No, because before, during the commercial, I was saying I had a huge crush on her.
Yeah.
And then you said you did too.
I said I did. When you were on Day by Day, I developed this big crush on you, and this whole talk show is a scheme to get you here.
I liked her when she was on the Tomorrow Show with Tom Snyder. Not the Tomorrow Show, but the later show.
He says to me in the
You
break,
have no idea who I am.
Yeah, no, I know from that show, that's all.
he says to me, "Oh, I really like her. I saw her. I really think she's great. I really have a crush on her." And I said, "Where? You saw her in Melrose Place?" He said, "No, I was watching Tom Snyder, and she was on, and she was a great guest." And I said, "Wait a minute, that's the show that's opposite our show. Why weren't you watching our show, pal?"
Because I wasn't on it that night.
All right, no, stay. We have exciting stuff to talk about. You've been on this show, Melrose Place, for 5 years.
For 5 years.
And now you're leaving. Why are you leaving?
It's time. You know? I mean, how many times
feel
can you
like
be
Oprah.
fired, rehired, drunk, sober?
I understand.
know.
I
Thank
understand.
you.
Yes, I see. You mean you got tired of, because they had your character pretty much go insane, go through all these really weird...
Allison has been through so much. I was sexually harassed, carjacked, had an affair with a married man who then tried to rape me and then shot himself while on the phone with me. I was drunk, sober. While getting sober, though, I got to have an affair.
Did he do all that
with
stuff
David
while on the
Elliott.
phone with you, or
Jack
just
was
shot
a sex
himself?
addict.
Wait, I'm curious.
No, I was on the phone in the office, which makes it really awkward.
All right, okay.
And he was in Seattle, and he shot himself
Oh, my God.
while he was on the phone. I know.
Yeah, and so you finally said there's no more that this character can do, right?
I can't do any more. I've been married and divorced and widowed, and it's too much.
What's going to happen in the season finale? Can you give us a tip for all those fans out there? What's going to happen?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
You'd be mad at
Good
me
night,
if I
everybody.
did.
We had a good time. No, I mean, but give us some sense of, is it one of those, because every year they try and have a season finale where everybody gets into a Zeppelin and blows up, Something.
Well, now you've given it away.
It's a Zeppelin. It's a Zeppelin. All right.
Are you talking about Melrose Place? No, because
You're the biggest ass I ever met. I love you for it.
No, because I swear to God, and when I lived in L.A., I lived on the actual street called Melrose Place. There's an actual street.
There's a Melrose. Is there really a Melrose
There's really
place?
a Melrose
Melrose
Place.
Place.
You
All
know
right.
this, right?
Yes, it's true.
So they opened a restaurant called Melrose Place on it, and then it's right beside my house. And every time I go out, there's all these retards, like tourists, and then these tourist retards, they're always fat and they're taking pictures, standing in front of this restaurant.
Yeah? Well, thanks for the help, pal. He'll get over it. You'll see. Now, I got to ask you about this because we brought... Shut up. That makes it all right. Well, I want to talk to you about something, because this came up earlier in the show accidentally, because I didn't know what Norm was going to talk about tonight, and it's best sometimes if I don't know. But he mentioned Carrot Top. You are making a movie with Carrot Top, right?
I made a movie with Carrot Top.
Okay. You made a movie with Carrot Top. It's not out yet.
No, it's
Can you
not
put the
out yet.
picture up of Carrot Top again, just so we can all see him?
She just did.
Oh, there it is again. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Wait a minute, she left Melrose Place to do a movie with Carrot Top?
That's where I'm going, my friend. this begs the question now, why a movie with Carrot Top?
Why a movie with Carrot Top?
I mean, no, I don't know much about Carrot Top, you know? I don't know much about him. I'm a little jealous because he's a red-haired comedian, and I felt like maybe you'd do a movie with me first, then move on to Carrot Top, then to Ralph Mal from Happy Days. You know, it's sort of the three. There's an order in which you do movies with the redheads. What's he like, first of all?
He's extraordinarily sweet.
Nice guy.
He really is. And he worked very hard, and he was adorable.
And he works with a lot of props and stuff, too, right?
Not in the movie.
Oh, in the movie they took his props away?
They took his props away.
That's a bad time to suddenly take away everything you know about comedy. You know, you've been using props now all your life for comedy. Now we're going to take them away when you make your first movie. Was he okay, though, with it? He was cool?
He was great. He did a wonderful job.
Do you have a scene where you and him embrace?
Yeah, lots of making out.
Oh, for God's sake.
Nothing but making out.
All right.
It's like 9.5 weeks, but Carrot Top. we were doing.
Wow! I gotta check out that movie.
Is it called 9.5 Seconds? Like he's premature ejaculator.
We got it.
You know what happened? This is what happened. You know what happened? He said 9.5 seconds, and I'm looking at him because I know there's more. And I wait and wait, and I see the glimmer in the eye, and then bang! I thought you were going to crack whore, but no. But what's the movie going to be called? Really?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
She's in it.
What about my career?
Courtney Thorne Smith, the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for closure.
After you scare everybody else away?
No, I love this girl. I would see any movie with this girl in it. She's a beautiful lady and a talented, nice talk show guest.
Okay. As evidenced by her appearance on our rival show. All right, well, there's this 2-hour season finale of Melrose Place. There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
We're going to take a break now. We're going to have Collective Soul in a second. Courtney Thorne Smith, we hope she's still our friend. We do love you.